50 years, Barbara Rico had the dream of publishing a book, and after receiving a lot of no's from publishers, she gave up on that dream. So her grandson, Chad, decided he was going to finally do something about it. In December, he secretly got the book published and posted Barbara's reaction on TikTok. Yes. The video received millions of views. Take a look.
Oh, it's not a living, breathing thing. I got so scared.
She thought it was a dog.
Yeah,
it was a dog.
I did. I did. Put it in here. Oh my God, this is probably the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me in my entire life. In my entire life. This is the nicest thing.
Oh. Now the book, More is now an Amazon bestseller. And joining us now on Zoom from Baltimore, please welcome Barbara and Chad. Oh my God. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Chad. You know, I have to say, Barbara, that moment was priceless. What did it mean to have Chad surprise you like this?
It was overwhelming. It was the most exciting feeling you could imagine. When I look back, though, I would have liked to have a comb in my hand. He's walking around with that camera. May I just, before we even start the interview, tell you how absolutely beautiful you look today. I love your outfit.
Thank you, but this is your flowers. Thank you so much, though. And I'm glad you didn't have a comb in your hand. It was just, everything, it made me cry. It really did. And Chad, did you expect Barbara to react like that? Did you expect that reaction from Barbara at all, Chad?
Oh, no, I did not expect her to react as
It was overwhelming.
As she did. It was I did expect some kind of reaction, but I didn't really expect her to go completely speechless. So that was really cool to see.
Oh, man. Now, Chad, your grandmother has been talking about this book more for a long time, and she got a lot of no's. So what made you decide to publish it?
It was just something that she'd been talking about forever. Every time I visited her house, every time we had talked, it was always something she had brought up. And it was never a project that was ever brought to fruition. And I was helping her with her computer one day, and we were going through some of the pictures, and I said and commented about how beautiful they were and how something should be done with it. And just in that moment, I thought it would make for a really great gift to turn it into a real book that we could share with the world.
Oh, man.
So, Sherri, he actually borrowed it. He didn't tell me he was doing it. Some people might say that isn't nice, but he just did it.
You are showing up every grandchild, Chad. We got to step up our game, okay? Now, Barbara, you got to tell me about More. I read it and I loved it. What inspired you to write the book?
My husband and I were going to school, and we were living in more or less near Appalachia. And while he was going to school, I was doing some volunteer work, and somehow I got involved with a family that was very poverty-ridden, shall I say. Coming from middle class myself, this was the most important encounter I have ever seen. I went from transitioning, and I got to see a family that lived the way I couldn't imagine. It was just very emotional. They were very poor. They had no food. They had absolutely nothing. And if I might say, it reminded me, you had a guest on recently, Miss Dolly Parton.
Yes.
She lived like that in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And this was reminiscent of the 70s. That's when I was there. That's when I saw what I saw. And it has stayed with me ever since, about a little girl.
Well, now that it's published, yes. And now, Barbara, now that the book is published, it is now a bestseller on Amazon, which is fantabulous. And Reading some of the comments, one says, are we all in agreement that this is our grandma and we have to sell out her book, which has been done? There's another one that says, to be seen and acknowledged for what we're passionate about is all anyone ever wants. And then there's one more. You made her feel the kind of rare happy that you only get a handful of times in one's life. So what do you think about all the reactions from social media?
Sherri, it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I could actually make a book from the comments. The comments are heartwarming, they're heartfelt. I wish I could hug every single solitary person that wrote in.
Oh,
She's learning how to use social media with this being said right now. She's never used TikTok. She's never used any of these channels. So she's learning for the first time with most wonderful comments she could ever imagine.
How many comments can you tell her? How
There's over 10,000 comments on
10,000
TikTok.
comments from strangers. And they're not strangers anymore. They're all my friends.
Well, I have to say, Chad, with Barbara, with a grandson like Chad, you going to the top right there. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And Barbara's book, More, is out now.